Hello, Philly weather peeps. Just want to give you an update on the winter storm coming tomorrow night. I'm recording this early afternoon on Wednesday, and our storm is a day and a half, not even away. It'll be in and out probably while you're all asleep. You'll wake up to a blanket of snow. How beautiful is that? So when I look at the weather maps, when I'm looking at creating a forecast, getting a feel for what's going to happen, I always start in the upper levels of the atmosphere. The upper levels are the steering currents. So what we see here is there's this is about 18,000 feet in the air. And this shows these reds and oranges and yellows are what are called vorticity. It's basically just power packed tightly together, really strong winds, and that's what kind of stirs up the atmosphere and helps rising air currents create storms. So what we'll see here is there's going to be a low pressure just to the right of this vorticity area. And this is our actual storm coming down from the northwest. And there'll be another storm, which will be our storm, right to the right of this. Let me show you in a moment. So just like that, you can see there's one. This is not going to affect us. This will go through. The beneficial thing about this lead storm is it will bring a cold front through and make sure there's enough cold air in place for us, most areas except for the Delaware coast, to get pretty much all snowfall from this particular storm. And here's our follow-up storm. Let me go back to the upper levels. So when we put this into motion, again, this is going to be what becomes our storm tomorrow night. So I put this into motion. You can see that streak of red, that vorticity, those strong winds packed together are diving down into the central plains. The current storm over the Great Lakes is moving out of the way. Now the challenge with this here is the benefit is it brings the cold air. We need that. The challenge is it kind of blocks the flow from the follow-up storm from sliding or riding up the coast and bringing even more precipitation, potentially a larger storm, and potentially warmer air. So there's pros and cons to this. We need the cold air. We don't want the next storm to get too close to the coast because it might turn over a lot of areas to rain. So what we have is just the right balance of a digging storm here. This is still close enough to the storm that we're going to get that it's going to kind of force it to the south. You'll see, remember, the low pressure is going to be just to the right of the vorticity maximum. And as this comes closer, the funny thing is, what I'm going to show you in a moment, the surface low and where the snow is going. While it's a completely different way that the storm formed, this low pressure will track very similarly to the storm that we had just a couple days ago, where the coast got over a foot of snow. And the difference is there's going to be more snow for a broader area of our vicinity. What you see here is the first batch coming up to Pennsylvania, transferring its energy to a coastal low, which takes over off the Delmarva. So the benefit of having a storm come through the Midwest like it is the initial batch of precipitation will stream into Pennsylvania. But you can see as it fizzles out and the coastal takes over, the strongest bands of precipitation migrate to the coast. You can see here, see that darker green? So what we're going to have is two areas of max precipitation, one to Philadelphia's west and southwest, down west of Washington, D.C., and then the other one, similar to the last storm, along the New Jersey coast. So what we're expecting is the snowfall to cover the entire area with the exception of potentially the Poconos. Will get a very light bit, unfortunately for them. And we're looking for at least 1 to 3 inches. Some areas might get 4 inches, anywhere from the city, west, southwest, north. So Montgomery, Chester, Bucks, out to Lancaster County, Delaware County, most of Philadelphia County, northern Delaware, should expect anywhere from 1 to 3 inches. Some areas might get 4. The big winners, as I see it, are these banding on the New Jersey coast, so anywhere south and east of Philadelphia should see the heaviest rates of snowfall. This will be overnight on Friday towards about rush hour on Friday. And we could see 1 to 2 inches per hour for about 3 hours, 3 to 4 hours. So the luckiest areas, if you're a snow lover, will be somewhere in New Jersey, central, southern New Jersey. And there might be some mix around Delaware or the extreme southern or southeastern tip of New Jersey that could hold down the snowfall totals a little bit. But once it gets cranking, it's going to be snowing everywhere. So I would expect, like I said, 1 to 3 up to 4 from the Philadelphia area, Philadelphia, north and west, south and east of the city, central, southern New Jersey, including the coastline. I'm expecting 2 to 5 inches, upwards of 7 or 8 for the lucky few that get under the heaviest bands. So that is your update, and I'll borrow this snow map from the European model just as a guideline. This is showing, again, you can see the initial band here surging into Pennsylvania before it decays. You have the screw zone, or the snow hole, or just a lighter area of accumulation as you transfer the energy from the initial wave of precip off to the coast. And this is where the heaviest banding will take place, whether it's right on the coast, right off the coast, more inland, we're not sure. That will impact totals, but if you're under the heaviest bands that last 2, 3, 4 hours, you're going to get upwards of 5, 6, 7, 8 inches. More than likely, it'll be the 2 to 5 inch range for the interior portion and along the coastline of central and southern Jersey. Delaware should get into that as well after a bit of a mix to start. So I'll keep you updated on any updates. Oh, that made no sense, but you get the gist. Ping me if you have any questions.